Hey there, I'm Dagny Zenovia, welcome back. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you tips and inspiration that I picked up from Self Made, the Netflix series inspired by Madam C.J. Walker. I do understand that when you juxtapose that to the actual history, story, and even full-blown documentary on Madam C.J. Walker, there are some discrepancies, some omissions, some just plain twisting of facts and characters, right? And I've decided I'm going to get into that on my website. So the blog post for this video, I'm going to elaborate on those details and give you even more resources and links to look into so you can totally indulge and learn more about the wonderful Madam C.J. Walker. 2 branches to these tips. So the first branch is dealing with the balance between being in tune with your purpose and your mission and being greedy. Throughout the story, Madam C.J. Walker has this sense of urgency that she needs to go bigger. It needs to get to more people. The product needs to get better. And there's a constant level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up throughout it, right? And then while that's going on, there's a constant notion from other people or within herself of why aren't you just satisfied with what you have? Why are you being greedy? Why do you need more? Don't you already have enough? I feel, which I think was very well portrayed in the series, I feel that when you are really pushing to build something within yourself, for your business, for your family, whatever aspect of your life, if you feel this sense of urgency, you feel like you possibly can't articulate it or explain it to other people, but within your mind, within your heart, you just feel like, no, this needs to get done. I feel like if the push behind that is solely based on the fact that you just feel this is a calling of some kind, this is just a bigger purpose, there's a bigger picture to it, then I don't think you're greedy. In that case, if all of that push and urgency is directed towards or being pulled by stepping on everyone around you, cheating everyone around, just pulled by this very low vibration, I feel then you are slipping into the greedy mode. When you see as the story unfolds, you get the sense that the urgency was aligned with her purpose because her life was cut short. So if she had listened to either self-doubt or everyone else around her asking her, why aren't you satisfied? Why are you going so fast? Why? She would have never made the impact that she needed to make because she would have been dead. And nobody else would have been able to continue it in the way that they did because she did not finish her work. Does that make sense? Don't think having a sense of urgency automatically is automatically determined by how long you're going to live. I don't think that. I feel like maybe there's a sense of urgency because what you're about to put out really is needed at that moment. The green light to show you that, you're going in the right direction. You're doing it right, keep going, you're fine. Who cares what they think? Just keep going. You see what I mean? Madam C.J. Walker in this series, as well as in real life, showed that in order to build your dream, you need to consistently bet on yourself. And she showed that throughout the story in never taking no for an answer and insisting that all she needs to do is talk to somebody. All she needs to do is show up at that event. All she needs to do is have them see her face. All she needs to do, she was in, really determined that it's because of her that this is going to be successful. I think that is inspiring because a lot of times the self-doubt or the procrastination is caused by feeling or questioning whether or not you really need to do something, whether or not you really belong in the room, whether or not you really deserve the success you already have. And I think she showed that if it's your calling, the answer to all those questions is yes. Like when she insisted she wanted to sell the product before she started making her own. And the lady in the series, not in real life, in the series you have Annie Malone who's insisting, no, you can't do it because everyone wants to look like me and nobody wants to look like you. And they insisted on making it to be this some sort of like colorism rivalry sort of thing between light skin and dark skin. She proceeds to sell the product. Not by changing the way she looks, not by finding, this high neck thing is interesting. Not by finding a light-skinned girl to do it for her, not by changing the way she looks. She just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna be my authentic self. And I'm sure if I just talk about my story behind my hair, all these other women out here will resonate with it, right? And it was a variety of women, not just light skin, not just dark skin, who gravitated towards her in the market, being like, yeah, I went through that too. I can't even get a job, right? So to me, I felt like, it shows that when you bet on yourself, that enables you to connect with other people, because that's exactly what everybody else it resonates with and is drawn to. Or next, when she's trying to get sponsors because she needs to build a factory because we can no longer manufacture as much as we need in our kitchen. And at first it's like, oh, well, everyone's insisting, well, the only place you're going to get that is from, the men, and, they're not going to really listen to a woman, et cetera, et cetera. She still insists, no, I'm going to have the meeting myself with them. Okay, yeah, they still didn't. No, okay, well, I'm going to meet with their wives. No, okay, I'm going to, and throughout each of those meetings and each of those conversations, she never went into trying to fit in a box that works for them. Every single time she was like, yo, this is me and this is why you need to believe in what I'm trying to do here, because it benefits all of us. Do you see? I thought that was so, there are so many points in the story that she could have given up. There's so many points in the story where she could have been like, yeah, you know what, never mind. Let me just sit down at home. Because if that's what everyone else is telling her to do. So I thought that was inspiring too. All right, second branch has to do with relationships. In the series, you see the relationship with her former husband a little bit and her second husband, and how it evolves as her career and the product and the drive and the urgency for the product unfolds. Now, I feel like both of them were responsible for how their marriage ended up falling apart. Let me explain. We'll start with the husband. I feel the husband really loved her. All right? At the beginning, you see him constantly encouraging her, reassuring her, and that he does love the way she looks. He does love everything about her, but that also her ideas are valid. And if this is what she wants to do, well, then go ahead and do it. Let's go. And he does move. He does move into the bigger house. Not only does he help out by creating the advertisements, because he did the caricatures and the fonts and stuff, but he also is in the back, washing hair, because they created the home to be a salon. And he's right there with his own dad helping to wash the hair and put the boxes and the packaging and all of that. So he was He started out really as a team player, which was very different from her former husband, and for her, just very different from other men, which is why she loved him too. Then trouble starts. Now, to be honest, in the series, the way they portray it, the first part of trouble started with his own dad. Because his own dad lives with them and he's also, helping out with the business. And when Madam C.J. Walker is not there, his own dad is like, son, what are you doing? This is not, because the husband keeps on saying our company, our we, right? And the father is like, well, do you hear what she's saying? She's saying it's her company. She's saying it's her salon. She's saying it's her money. It's not both of y'all's, it's all hers. How can a man be working for his wife? So I would say, in the context of the series, this planted the seed that grew into the abomination of this character, because he basically became uselessly useless after that. So his ego started becoming bruised, because all she wants to do is work. All she wants to do is focus on the product and focus on it being bigger and better and bigger and better. And that's when you start hearing him say, well, why? Why are you never satisfied? This not only happens in private, but also in public. He then proceeds to have an affair with one of her employees, who is light-skinned and petite, with soft, quote unquote, soft. He basically has an affair with Becky, with the good hair, right? Who is like the nemesis or the enemy of his wife. Because everything his wife has, what Madam C.J. Walker has been trying to push with her product, is to dismiss the notion that there's only one type of beauty when it comes to Black people, and nobody else fits that. And then her husband proceeds to have an affair with the exact image of what she's trying to break away from. He also then proceeds to sabotage her, not showing up to meetings or not doing the work, or show up to important meetings where she's giving a presentation to potential investors and completely embarrassing her in front of them. So of course they get scared and run away and don't invest. I feel like how the character was portrayed in the series, it was like once he realized that he was in over his head almost, because it was like she was leveling up to a space that he felt he couldn't reach. And so in response to that, he acted out. In response to that, he's trying to make her feel bad. In response to that, he's almost trying to destroy what they built together. And I feel that is when he succumbed to the shadow side of his ego. Ego is not necessarily terrible in general terms for all genders, right? Because it's part ego to keep betting on yourself, right? But the shadow side of the ego that insists that if someone's doing better than you, they must be attacking you or insulting you, or because they're doing better than you, you need to destroy what they're doing. That's a problem. The way the story unfolds, he loses in the end, because he insisted that he needed more attention. And he felt that she was replacing him with the business. And even though he wasn't in love with the girl he was having an affair with, then that means you really were just, the whole thing was really just to hurt your wife. Which I still don't understand how you think that's going to work in your favor. If now that she's hurt, why would she want anything to do with you? I don't get it. Don't get it. Because if he had just not listened to his father and be like, nah, you don't get it. We're doing something bigger than this. pops. It is our company, and I understand why she is so protective of it. Because this is new, this is innovative, no one else has done it, and it'll be very easy for anybody to steal it from her or from us, right? If he had stuck around, he could have been chilling in their mansion next door to Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? But you lose out on all of that because, you know, you feel like she's not holding your stomach as a priority. Yeah, that was disappointing. I will admit that was disappointing because at the beginning, I was really happy for her. Like, wait, what? You found a partner that actually like supports you? Like actually, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Dynamic duo, yes. And then he starts being useless and it's like, oh, okay. So the overall bigger picture tip from that, which for this story, it was the husband acting out like this. Yes, in real life, all genders can act out like this. I'll just say that you lose out completely if you choose to destroy what you feel you don't deserve, or what you feel is too good for you, all right? If you can't reach it, don't bother with it, okay? If you can no longer contribute in a positive way, then get out of the way. Like, that's it. Like, for real. Because not only will you cause damage to whoever you're doing that to, you're causing the most damage to yourself. Now let's also talk about Madam C.J. Walker, the wife. She also, even though she is the protagonist and the hero in this series, she also succumbed to the shadow side of her ego, okay? Now let me say that I feel like now, okay, we are going to talk about women. I really do not endorse the notion that women who are ambitious or accomplished or just maneuver their reality in this like larger than life way, I don't think they are obligated or required to babysit everyone around them. I do believe though that they also need to maintain a balance with the interactions that they have. She was in the series, she was very protective of her business. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's protective over their own baby, right? In the story, they make a point to show you how she kind of dismisses her husband or forgets him. Like, you're out in public and he does the thing of like gives you his arm. So she was supposed to like, you know, hook her arm, and she just goes up in front and walks in front as if, well, I mean, this is her business. So she's the one everyone should be, you know, looking at or paying attention to. Or he offers, well, you know, he offers to speak to one of the potential investors that their lawyer had introduced them to. Because, you know, the investor had already noted that he feels a little uncomfortable investing in something for women, for a product that's only for women. So he doesn't know about that. So the husband, of course, is like, well, let me, you know, talk to him man to man. And she's insisting, yeah, no, it's better that you don't, you know, I'm better at that, or I do better with that, or I would be more comfortable if I did it, et cetera, et cetera. Even though in the story, she insists on doing that and she almost gets like sexually assaulted, or she does get sexually assaulted, when that possibly would not have happened if she had sent her husband to do it. But was there a guarantee that the husband knew what he was doing? No. Later, he does do it. So trying to speak to him, and you know, he's not going to speak to him, and then he goes into the men's restroom, and she's like, okay, well, go follow him and tell him, you know, go and invite him, you know, to our house for dinner. So he goes and comes back and tells her, oh, he's coming. So she then calls everybody to come to the house, cook. We're having this party to welcome this person and introduce this person to their product to get him to endorse it. And of course, the guy doesn't show up. And Madam C.J. Walker asks her husband, like, okay, what exactly did you tell him? Like, you said he was coming. And that's when he confesses that, well, actually, he went into the bathroom and he locked the door so that, they would have privacy. But then, the guy got scared and pulled out a gun. And so he had to be like, whoa, I was just didn't want us to be disturbed because I wanted to ask you, for you to come, over to have dinner with my wife, because my wife would like you to come over for dinner. And the guy, of course, just said, yeah, because obviously he still thinks you're going to attack him. And then he left. And of course, Madam C.J. Walker's like, wait, so he never said he was coming. That means he's not coming. Everybody get out of my house. Everyone get out, sort of thing. And then they call the guy, and the guy, of course, is like, no, I'm not coming. What are you talking about? Was she dismissive or rough, or could she have been kinder or gentler with her husband? Yes and no. Like there are points where you're like, that wasn't a good move. I think he felt that one. And then there's other times where like the scene I just described, where she gave him an opportunity and like she threw it at him and he didn't catch it. Like it fell on the floor, And, but not only did you not catch it, but he also didn't own up to it until the last minute. After now she's completely embarrassed and depressed and, furious. Because it could have been different if he had just come back and just confessed completely what happened. Like, oh, well, I did go in, but he seemed uncomfortable, so I didn't really get an answer. So we'll have to try a different way. You know what I'm saying? Then she'll still be like thinking, okay, let's try another way. Then she wouldn't be as disappointed. I think she was really just disappointed because he's always asking, I can do more, and then you give him more to do, and he doesn't do it, and then, which then makes her feel like, oh, if I just did it myself, you could have just gone to the bathroom by herself. She had a problem with trusting people, okay? And I think that caused problems with her husband, that caused problems with the employees or people on her team, where it's possible that people possibly could have contributed even more to the success of the business because she's keeping it like, no, it's mine. Only I can meet this person. Only I can talk to this person. Only I can be responsible for this business. It's like, some people then will leave or feel like, wait, you don't think I can do it? You calling me stupid? You know what I'm saying? Like that it's inevitable for people to have that reaction. So for me, I felt like the advice or the tip about that aspect of their relationship for her side is that you need to understand accepting that if you choose to take on this journey, that you feel being pulled with urgency, where you are building, creating, being something that no one has seen or understand or done before. You gotta understand that a lot of it will need to be accomplished alone. People will be around, and some of those people will really do a whole lot to push you forward or contribute or further enhance or support, but they can't see what you see. And so you cannot, there really needs to be a balance of how you rely on people and how you utilize them to the best of their abilities or the best of what they can bring. So I feel like differentiating between who's supposed to be on the team for the moment and who's supposed to be on the team for the long haul, and who doesn't need a place on the team at all is important. And I think that takes a whole lot of emotional intelligence to understand who that is. And for sure, you will get burnt along the way while you're trying to figure that out. But if you are intentional about that, I feel like you won't fall for the shadow side of the ego of no, I'm the only one who can hold this, nobody else can hold it. And I'll snap and dismiss anybody else who tries to contribute or help or take away or put in or anything else. For their relationship, I know it just wasn't meant to be, but these are like points of how they internalize what they saw happening around them, which I guess is determined by their personalities. It could have worked out if they made different choices. Because you can tell even later on in the series that she didn't want to be alone. And so it was like, and she couldn't understand, like, how could you not be, like, I thought you were different, but you're like any other man, you know? So like towards the end, he comes back like with a ring to give her a ring, because before he couldn't afford to give her a ring. And again, that kind of shows like, but like, bruh, you don't get it. What both of them needed from each other, they weren't giving to each other. So what she needed from him, she didn't need material things from him, because technically she can afford them. What she needed was a real solid partner, a real best friend. And it seems like what he needed also wasn't material things. He just needed to feel wanted in the relationship. He needed to feel important in the relationship. But there was a mismatch on whose bigger picture are we focusing on. Because her bigger picture was focused on, we gotta sacrifice now because later this is gonna be awesome. While his bigger picture was, I mean, we're good now. In terms of how the show illustrated their relationship, you can dive deeper into how that illustrates the dynamics between Black men and Black women in America, and how Black American history influenced the tug of war, the tension, the pain, the destruction, the recovering, the restructuring, all of that. Because it also made me think of, there's another clip, which if I can find it again, I'll link it in the blog post for this video, or I'll embed it if I can find it, where you see black men and Black women are talking it looks like it's in the 1970s, and they're discussing this tension between Black men and women. And the Black woman is asking the Black man, why can't I, as the Black woman, be successful? Why do you take that as a slap in your face to the Black man? And the Black man responds it's not about that as a slap in the face, but due to the welfare system, as a Black man, I can't give you what you want, because only the white man can afford it. But because you want what the white man can afford, that means I'm not good enough for you. And the Black woman is insisting, no, it doesn't mean that at all. Like, throws the rebuttal that it's not that you want what the white man can afford, it's that, well, we don't need, it's not the material things I'm looking for, but why don't you also want to intellectually get to this other level that we're trying to achieve and stuff like that. It was such that whole concept or that whole topic is fascinating because there's so many layers to it. It can also be disheartening because there's so many layers to it. But that's also what that reminded me of and inspired me, in that communication is so key. I hope you feel so inclined to go ahead and check out DagnyZenovia.com. Go ahead and indulge in the post for this video and leave me a comment, and let's, go back and forth and interact over there as well. In addition to, because I also love talking to you guys here on all the platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, yes. But, I feel kind of lonely on my website because y'all don't talk to me on my blog post. That is my take on Self Made, the Netflix series inspired by Madam C.J. Walker. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are keeping safe, and I'll see you next time.